Hey, so we just covered different types of business segments, right? We talked about service businesses. We spoke about merchandising businesses, manufacturing businesses, and I even covered hybrid businesses. This next section is really about the expectations that you can have with these different types of business types. Now this, I must say, is purely opinion based. This is really down to my experiences and having sold different types of products or services in my last 10 years of doing business. So I wouldn't take this as, I guess, the end all be all, but I would say to you that take it with some authority because I have done this sort of thing. So I will say this, as far as services go, which is like, when I'm doing consultancy with people, it's really my time. If it's an hour consultancy, but I'm charging $500 to $1,000 for that hour, my margins are pretty high. Okay. But I can't expect to have a lot of sales. I can, like with my recruitment service, where I was utilizing other people to work with me to make sure that I could place candidates quickly. Okay, so I could achieve medium sales, but it was very time consuming. I had to manage expectations on the candidate level. I had to manage expectations on the other businesses that I was working with. It was very time consuming, but I was able to achieve medium sales and I had significantly sized margins. It was 80%. Or at least I had 80% to play with and I could share that with other people. So that was very good for me. So services are a great place to be. Wholesale merchandise. You may be able to have more than 10% margins, but when you chop things up and you're working with retail outlets or you're selling yourself and you have staff and you have physical space or you're using a digital space and you're marketing a lot, your margins are going to typically sit around 10%. And again, this is me I'm drawing that information from my own experiences. Of course, there are businesses out there who found that magic sauce or, they've been able to figure out how to increase their margins significantly in the way they practice. I'm not talking to you about how you can become that company. I'm talking to you about how you can just execute quickly and what you can expect to achieve. So you can expect to see around 10% margins, but you will have a lot of sales. So what's that good for? You've got a lot of customers that you can sell other stuff to as well. So you've got 10% margins, but you've got loads and loads and loads of sales. And of course, it's less time consuming. Of course, it might take up all your time as far as you managing the company, but you're not really having to sell it or sell things individually, person to person. So we're not talking about that. So that's what I mean when I say less time consuming there. Manufacturing, well, this is pretty much the birth of distribution networks, right? So you've created shoes, you've manufactured clothing, you've manufactured the cement that now needs to be bought by wholesale companies or bought by, construction firms and that sort of thing to build buildings with and that sort of thing. So 25 to 30% margins is what you can expect to see over here. Medium to very large sales, depends on what kind of industry you're in, and medium time consuming. You're probably going to have to be negotiating a lot, but you're not really going to have to be you're not going to have to be there to do every single sale or every single repurchase, for instance. Manufacturing is also a good place to be. And hybrid, well, that's the tricky one, right? Because that's really the variable, because you could be anywhere between 15 and 30%. Again, from my experience only. If you have a service-based element to your business, like the personal training, for instance, or like my course, I take a lot of time in creating the course. My margins are significantly higher. But when it comes to advertising it, that cuts down the margins significantly. And of course, when I'm actually dealing with people face to face and I'm doing that service side of it, it also it increases the margin, but it also increases the time that I'm spending in doing it. So you've got medium to big sales, and it's kind of time consuming. So be mindful of these elements. I'm not saying that any one of these are bad. You can make a lot of money in every single one of them. Just be mindful of which direction you're going so that you can manage your own expectations and how much time you are going to apply to this. Remember, this is not a get rich quick course. Nothing I've said to you is anything close to, hey, all you have to do is press this button or click your fingers in this way and you're going to have all this money flowing in. I'm telling you that you've got to put the work in. If you can put the work in, yes, money will start to flow quickly. Will that mean you have to put more work? Well, probably. Can you have enough money to employ other staff that can help you? Can you train people to assist you in that process? Yes, most definitely. So will it become less taxing for you? Yeah, hopefully. So bear that in mind. I'm giving you the real deal here. I'm telling you exactly what you can expect to achieve from my own experiences. Okay, so this is the secret sauce. Volume is key, and there's 2 reasons why. Your distribution networks need them, and really, really important as far as user adoption is concerned. So first off, distribution networks, the people that you're going to work with, your channel partners, your network partners, however you want to define them or call them. Fact is, they're going to need enough volume to sell. You can't sell one training course one time, and that's it. You can't have one product that you can sell one time. Like if you're building a yacht and you've only got one and that's it. No one's really going to help you sell that en masse, okay? You're not going to get the best amount, the best reach and frequency out there. And number 2, user adoption. If you've got a lot of things being sold, if your product's being sold at a lot of different places by a lot of different companies, and you're basically leaning on their reputations, and they're really promoting you. If it's real estate, if it's a merchandise product, let's say you manufactured your own energy drink. I've used that example before, and lots of different companies are selling it for you and people are seeing it. User adoption is a really big, important factor. The fact is, it's kind of like the way I buy my iPhones. I always look at other different phones. It's like, it's a weird thing. Whenever it comes time for me to upgrade my phone, I go on the internet, I go on YouTube, and I start looking at these reviews for the Google phone. I look at the Samsung phone. I start looking at all the specifications. Same thing with my laptop. I have a MacBook. But when I start looking at everything else, I start weighing up whether or not I'm going to buy this Apple product. And of course, when it comes time to actually upgrade, what do? I go buy the Apple product. Why? Because my mum has it. My wife has it. My best friends have it. Everyone in my business has the iPhone. I just end up buying it too. Why? Because of user adoption. If more people are using it, I'm more inclined to buy it. And that's the reason why you've got to get volume. If you're selling an energy drink, you've got to have if you're selling a specific type of clothing, fitness apparel, whatever the case may be, literally whatever the case may be, people would be more inclined to buy it, which makes it easier for your distribution partners to sell it so that you can sell more, right? That increases your overall profit. So that's the real secret here, is volume is key. Take that away with you, because in the next sections, we're really going to be focusing on how you can structure your deal. And I've mentioned this before, my 2 key criteria for when I qualify business opportunities. DSSD, which is deal, structure, scalability, and distribution. And the other one is loco-noco, doing it at either a low cost or no cost. And that's what we're going to cover next.